Hi everyone, this is Shailja Mittal tuning in, CEO and founder of Qurex. Qurex is India's first holistic platform for sexual health and wellness. And today we are honored to have Dr. Anita Shyam with us. Dr. Anita Shyam is the integrative psychiatrist, the board certified clinical sexologist and sexual medicine specialist from USA. She's a relationship, sex, and intimacy coach and a de-addiction specialist. She is the only woman psychiatrist in sexual medicine from India. Dr. Anita, we are honored to have you here on platform of Qurex to actually, tell our viewers that how sexual health and wellness is important. So thank you so much for sparing time and being here with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shailja, for inviting me for this talk.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, a very important question actually. I think a lot of our viewers want to know that why and how sexual health is important for men.
So, Shailja, sexual health is very important for men and women. So, when we talk about men, sexual health overall is a very neglected health, very
That's true.
neglected topic. People think they want to earn more money. People want to get better at their job. People want to reach hierarchy on their positions. But sex is something which they absolutely forget or take it for granted. So for men, as we know, men usually just neglect their health.
That's true.
Men do not express. Sometimes they don't want to talk about their feelings. So as a result, there is a high death rate in men, and also men are dropping down very early. This was something I was discussing with one of the specialists also recently, like just yesterday. So sexual health for them is also very important. This helps them to be connected to their partner. In this world where people are always so lonely, nobody to talk, this can help them to connect to their partner, maintain their communication, maintain their intimacy.
That's true.
See, it's an emotion, right? But one has to feel connected to their partner, feels somebody is there to talk to me, somebody is there where I can express my love, my feeling. So that is emotional aspect. But physically also sex is very important to keep, if one is active, right? You have an active sex life. Somebody who has a very sedentary lifestyle, and that also affects. So it is very important that they keep a good physical health, a good cardiovascular health. If for any reason anybody suffers from not a proper ejaculation or erectile functioning, the erection is getting looser, that indicates something is wrong with their cardiovascular system too.
Okay.
Yeah, so they need to see a cardiovascular specialist. That could be something affecting their vascular functioning. Also, in terms of the amount of pressure going around nowadays, the social media,
That's
right?
true.
Everybody wants to see porn, and everybody wants to act like porn, or everybody wants to feel like a star and show that, oh, I'm such a macho person. So somebody whose sexual life is affected, their confidence is affected because I'm not performing that well.
Very true.
Or if they see pornography or there's a peer pressure, they feel that, oh my god, I want to perform better and do this, like an act being shown. So that affects their self-esteem also. So as we just talked, it affects their emotional, their psyche, their physical health, and also how they connect with the society. It has commonly seen people who are suffering from challenges in their sexual health, even connecting with society, being having relationship, approaching for relationship also becomes a challenge. So it overall affects every aspect of one's life and one's being a human being.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Also, I think the overall mental wellness, whether it's relationship related to your relationship, related to your own self-esteem, related to the guilt you at times might have, that what is your partner thinking about you, what is is she if I talk about men, they must be thinking that if I'm not able to perform, would she still be attracted towards me, would she still would like to stay with me in the relationship? So all these thoughts, I am sure, would have been juggling in their mind.
That's so true. Right from when anybody is a teen, right, whether it's a woman or a man, the myths, the cultural belief and attitude towards masturbation, towards pubertal changes, there's so many restrictions being put in their head right from the beginning, which gradually as they grow older, that affects, that creates that resentment. And sometimes when people don't realize that it's all the play of hormones during puberty, that desire, that arousal, that attraction, which is normal functioning of a human being. It's physiology.
Absolutely.
It is physiology even in animals. So
Right.
why not us? So people forget all these significant path of growth, and when parents' culture try to suppress, and you see what happens when there's an outburst of this suppression.
True.
There is abuse, there's criminal activity, there are rapes. So people with masturbation suppressing these normal growth. Now, when you talk about what this part, so those are certain myths we should really help.
So, as we just talked about how sexual health is important for men, ma'am, uh, what do you think? Because you've been handling men and women both since almost, I would say, 12 years, especially in sexual medicine, and before that, also a couple of years as a psychiatrist. So, what do you think how sexual health affect women? And I would little be specific right now about India, because in India we need to make people aware more why sexual health is important. So what do you think sexual health is, why it is important for women?
So sexual health is also important for women because sexual functioning in a woman goes to a lot of waves.
Right.
All women have hormonal changes.
That's true.
Menstruation से लेके menopause, pre-menopause, post-menopause, every phase of life, childbirth, there's a lot of fluctuation where the desire can go up and desire can go down. As I mentioned even before, teaching your child, a female child, about sex, good touch, bad touch is very important. Why is it important even for that sexual functioning? As I mentioned, men.
Mm.
Being in a relationship, being connected to your partner, feeling that importance of intimacy in your relationship is very important.
That's true.
For their physical health, mental health, and social health.
True.
So we come across a lot of women who have no desire because men are very busy. Then they feel neglected. Once they feel neglected, then they start fighting with their husbands because, oh my god, you're never aware, you're never there for me, you don't care for me. But actually it can be but the bottom cause can be that they are not intimate with each other.
That's true.
They are not sexual with each other, and that is coming with all these areas. So research has shown that even though the men or the couple are staying separately, maybe different towns working, but when they meet, they are very intimate with each other. They're having a good sexual relationship. Their relationship is very good, and even if sometimes people think that sex is all about intercourse, but even things like intimacy on the phone call, maintaining that is so important. Very neglected part, neglected in even in women or men. Other aspects of women, why is it important in women is again to feel confident.
Yes.
And imagine the amount of divorces happening.
I mean, very important, ma'am. Recently, I just studied that 30% of divorces in India are happening because of sexual dysfunctions. There are problems, sexual issues. They're not trying to they're not able to find the right doctor, right help, and final outcome is divorce
Yes.
or separation. So that's really sad, and actually, it's an important point that generally we neglect the health of women in our country, and we think that okay, mental wellness for women is probably that not that important. But yes, this sexual dysfunction, if women are not happy in their sexual life, it actually affects their mental health to a great extent, their self-confidence to a great extent. I think they bring in that guilt in themselves that okay, maybe there's something wrong with me. That is why our sexual life is not right, and I'm not having the right desire, or my partner is not having the right desire.
Yes, yes, and it's very important that you reach out to a professional who can explain to you, especially women, why certain times of your periods you have more desire, why
Absolutely.
certain times of the period you have no desire, and only a professional would be able to explain and help on the area of what happens at the hormones, what happened to the medical aspect. Um, very important point which you brought out today was about my husband doesn't want to have or the wife doesn't want to have. It is sometimes people start having this guilt. Is there something wrong?
Yes.
Is the partner having an affair outside?
Yes.
So all these things, and it can be simply tackled by reaching to a professional.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's also like people have different desires, or they are going through a different phase in their life, or it is a different hormonal time in their life. So if somebody can explain all these things, imagine life will be so easy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So rather than thinking about what happens in that 5 days, I've always noticed my partner doesn't want to have sex. Maybe my partner has an affair somewhere. No, it is a hormonal time.
That's true.
Maybe that hormones at that point of time, if you learn or the doctor explains, you'll get to know that it is not all about somebody is going around with somebody else, or somebody doesn't like you. It's your body image. My God, and imagine the amount of depression in women.
That's true.
And depression can cause a lot of sexual dysfunction, not feeling connected, not wanting to have sex, having that low self-esteem, feeling hopeless, helpless. So many things are happening. So at least, I'm glad Qurex is bringing out this important aspect of sexual wellness.
Absolutely, ma'am. I know we're running out of time, so I'll quickly come up to the next question. That, ma'am, to your viewers, what advice would you like to give to them to keep themselves sexually healthy and well, so that they can be healthy in all the aspects which you rightly mentioned: their physical wellness, their mental wellness, their social wellness, their work wellness, so they can be healthy in all these phases?
Good question. What are the various habits one can adapt to have a good sexual life, right? So sleep is very, very important.
Okay.
One must have a good sound sleep at least for 6 to 7 to 8 hours
every day.
Yes, because it is shown even in research that people who don't sleep well, working overnight, they are definitely affected in their sexual functioning. Sleep is a very important thing. Sleep, physical activity, at least 30 to 40 minutes of physical activity every day, and that is not just tehelna, that is called brisk walking, aerobics, where your heart is pumping, there is the activity of your vascular system. This helps in the blood flow.
Okay.
Because what is arousal all about? The blood flow moving, there is blood flow to the genitals, the areas, and that heat feeling. It's all about your vascular system. So maintain a good physical health. Okay. Maintain a good diet. So people are nowadays eating a lot of processed food, lot of food outside which lack a lot of nutrients. Okay, zinc ho gaya, vitamin B12 hai, all the vitamin complexes. Vitamin D has been shown to affect sexual functioning. So you need to have a well balanced diet.
Right.
Okay, avoid a lot of processed food, lot of sugar. My goodness, mind you, sugar affects every place. So good diet is very important.
All right.
A well balanced diet involves some nuts in your diet for the nutrients. After that, I'm going to talk about that connection with your partner. Keep communicating with your partner. Talk to your partner.
Yes.
That is very important. Yeah, that is, even if it is not sex, right? Talking about day-to-day activities, spending that 5 minutes of talk can be very helpful in maintaining that relationship and communication.
True.
Try different things. Go out on a nice walk, buy nice flowers for your wife, for your partner ke liye. Even a small kiss on the cheek can help, or even compliment like "आप आज बहुत अच्छे दिख रहे हो, ये blue shirt मेरा बहुत." Some of these beautiful conversation really takes a long way in sexual relationship.
True. Very true, ma'am, and thank you so much for those useful tips to always be sexually healthy, so that we can perform well in our social life, we can be happy in our overall life. Last but not the least, ma'am, that what are those warning signs where we should get to know that you need a professional to intervene, where a professional who can take your sexual health, your or your partner's sexual health to the next level where it should be?
So the warning signs are: one has never been able to enjoy sex, has no desire, And he would start feeling, why don't I feel to have sex? Or even if I have desire, I don't know, I don't get that urge or that arousal feeling that I can go and enjoy sex. That is a time one has to see a doctor to know what's really going on. Secondly, if somebody has good sexual functioning, and all of a sudden there's a deterioration, right from the erection to the desire to the fantasies. Somebody might feel, I used to fantasize, I would masturbate, all of a sudden I don't feel like I don't get those fantasies. That is some warning signs that you need to go and see a physician. The same is if somebody has a medical condition like diabetes, hypertension,
True.
and they notice, or somebody's taking some medication for other medical illnesses, and they start noticing deterioration in their sexual functioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good sign. You need to talk to your physician who is treating you. Sir, I've been noticing that this is what is happening with me.
True.
It should be as simple as, I don't get fantasies anymore, or I don't feel like touching my partner because I don't feel that something is going on. Good sign to go and see a physician.
Also, when you're thinking, most of the time, I think you're thinking about guilt and you're having that low self-esteem kind of a feeling that, okay, I'm good for nothing. This kind of
That could be depression also. Apparently, somebody suffering from depression, or somebody's just they probably had trauma,
yeah.
and that is affecting their their body image. Or somebody is just with all the beautiful bodies all around, and all the possible media. Somebody starts feeling, maybe I'm not beautiful enough. This is not. All those negative body image can also affect.
True, very true. So, viewers, I would say that some of the very important points have come across today. And Dr. Anita, thank you so much for getting those points in front of us. Just to summarize this, I would say that as we talked, Dr. Anita made it very clear that sexual health is important for men and women both. Men, especially, to avoid any cardiovascular diseases, to be mentally healthy, free of guilt, with high self-esteem, and to be socially very stable, socially healthy. Similarly, for women, to be connected to your partner, to be confident, to again be very high on your self-esteem. It is very, very important that you do not have any sexual dysfunctions and you take care of your sexual health completely. Not to miss, sexual health is always related to reproductive health. Please correct me, Dr. Anita, if I'm wrong. That sexual health is also connected to your fertility cycle. If couples are trying to conceive but they have sexual dysfunctions, then the first and the foremost thing you need to take care of to get those sexual dysfunctions solved so that you can have a smooth fertility cycle. I think after that, of course, as we know that sexual health does affect your overall health, which ultimately affects your work productivity. So guys, please take care of this. Get sexually healthy and be the champion of your life. Thank you for watching, and thank you, Dr. Anita, for being here. Thank you so much.
Wish you
Thanks.
luck.
Take care. Thank you. Bye, everyone.